Welcome to RWG Publishing. Today, we're diving deep into Once Upon a Time in a Dental Office. It's by Sunshine Rodgers. I'm so excited to kind of unpack this charming story with you. It's all about Cavity.
Mhm.
She's a receptionist at Hourglass Dental, and she's trying to balance office craziness with crushes on dentists.
Oh,
And she has a secret passion for poetry.
it really is fascinating how Rodgers takes this seemingly ordinary setting, a dental office, and turns it into this backdrop for a story all about self-discovery and pursuing your dreams and classifying it as inspirational fiction. It really sets the stage for Kay's journey.
Right. You wouldn't think a dental office would be like a hotbed of romance and intrigue. So
Yeah.
let's talk about Hourglass Dental. Okay, so we have two very different dentists. Dr. Chase Hatchett, he's all about the bottom line. And then there's Dr. Brian L. Chan. He's the kind of dentist who remembers your kids' names
Hmm.
and asks about your vacation.
That difference in their personalities, it really drives the story, wouldn't you say?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
It's almost symbolic. Dr. Hatchett. He represents a more clinical, business-oriented approach to dentistry, while Dr. Alchan, he embodies a more personal, community-focused approach.
It's like they represent two different paths in life, which is interesting because Kay is trying to figure out her own path.
Yeah.
You know, she's stuck in this demanding job, dealing with a difficult boss, Veronica, she's the team manager, and then her sidekick, Marissa, she's the assistant team manager. It's like a dental version of Cinderella, with
Yeah.
those two as the evil stepsisters.
That's a great comparison. You can really feel Kay's frustration with Veronica and Marissa. They're constantly piling on extra work and just creating drama, making it even harder for Kay to focus on her own aspirations.
And those aspirations are pretty amazing. Kay dreams of becoming a published poet. She's obsessed with this poet, A. Ketapa, who had to use a male pen name to get published.
I love that detail. It speaks to the challenges women have faced historically. In pursuing creative careers, it adds another layer to Kay's character. She's not just a receptionist daydreaming about romance. She's a woman who understands the obstacles she might face in pursuing her passion.
It's like she sees A. Ketapa as a role model,
Yeah,
someone who defied expectations and achieved success on her own terms.
exactly. And we see Kay subtly channeling that spirit of defiance, sneaking in Ekatapa quotes into her work emails, almost like a secret code or a message in a bottle.
No, I love that you picked up on that. It's so subtle, but it reveals so much about Kay's personality.
Oops.
Speaking of hidden depths, let's talk about Kay's love triangle. So first, she's head over heels for Dr. Hatchett. She even imagines him whisking her away in his fancy car.
Understandable. I mean, he's charming, successful, and seems to represent a life of excitement and luxury, something Kay clearly craves. But it's interesting how her perception of him changes as the story unfolds.
Yeah, especially compared to Dr. Alchan, who initially seems like just a friendly coworker.
Mm.
But as they spend more time together, especially at their favorite bookstore, gotta love books, Kay starts to see him in a different light.
That bookstore, it's almost like a character itself, wouldn't you say?
That's
This
an-
cozy, welcoming space that fosters connection and a love for literature. It's where Kay and Brian can truly be themselves, away from the pressures of the dental office.
And that for sale sign on the bookstore, it
Mhm.
really adds a layer of tension. You know change is coming, and you wonder how it will affect Kay and Brian.
Absolutely. It's like a symbol of the uncertainty that hangs over their lives, especially as Kay starts to question her own path. And speaking of change, there are some key turning points that really shake things up for Kay.
Right, like when Brian surprises Kay with a signed first edition of A.
Mhm.
Ketapa's book, Beloved,
Mm.
that she thought was lost forever. It's such a thoughtful gesture,
Mm.
and it really shows how deeply he understands her.
That gesture speaks volumes about Brian's character, wouldn't you say? He's not just interested in a superficial romance. He wants to connect with Kay on a deeper level, supporting her passion for poetry.
A far cry from Dr. Hatchett's approach. Remember when he takes Kay to that fancy Italian restaurant? He spends the whole day pushing her to accept her promotion in Knoxville, dangling a big salary in front of her.
Right, and he completely misses the point. It's clear that for Kay, money isn't everything. She's looking for something more meaningful, something that aligns with her creative aspirations.
And if you're already intrigued by Kay's journey and wondering what decisions she'll make, you can find out more in Once Upon a Time in a Dental Office. It's by Sunshine Rodgers. We've included a link to the book on Amazon. It's in the show notes.
But let's not get ahead of ourselves. There's still so much to uncover about Kay's journey. What are that opportunities she gets to write a children's book with Brian's sister, Alicia?
Oh, that's huge. It's like a door suddenly swings open, giving her a chance to step into the world of writing. It's finally a chance to make her dream a reality. But the question is, will she take it?
That's the big question, isn't it? And it's tied to another crucial decision. What will happen with the Gotta Love bookstore? Will Brian take a chance on his own dream?
Ooh, the suspense is killing me. We'll delve into those juicy details in just a moment, but first, let's take a quick pause for a word from our sponsor.
We left off with Kay, facing a crossroads. The allure of a high-paying promotion versus the uncertainty of pursuing her writing dreams. It's a dilemma many of us can relate to, wouldn't you say? That tug of war between practicality and passion.
It's like that age-old question. Do you follow your head or your heart? And in Kay's case, she chooses to follow her heart. She turns down the promotion and leaves Hourglass Dental to focus on writing.
Now, some might see that as a reckless move, giving up a stable job in this economy, but I think it's incredibly brave. Kay recognizes that true fulfillment. It comes from pursuing your passions, even if it means stepping outside your comfort zone.
It's like she finally realizes that life is too short to spend it doing something that doesn't make you happy. And her decision has a ripple effect on those around her, especially Brian. Remember how he's always dreamed of owning Gotta Love books?
Yes, and it's Kay who encourages him to take the leap. She sees his potential and believes in his dream, just like he believes in hers.
It's a beautiful example of how their relationship is built on mutual support and encouragement. They push each other to grow and chase their dreams.
And that's what's so inspiring about their story. It's not just about romantic love. It's about finding someone who sees the best in you and helps you become the best version of yourself.
And the best part, Brian actually buys the bookstore. That for sale sign comes down, and he becomes the proud owner of Gotta Love books. It's like a dream come true, not just for him, but for Kay too, because the bookstore has always been their special place.
It's more than just a bookstore, wouldn't you agree?
Yeah.
It represents a shared passion for literature, a sense of community, and a place where dreams can take flight by becoming the owner. Brian is not just taking on a business, he's taking on a legacy.
And he's creating a future where he can share that legacy with Kay. Speaking of Kay, her writing career takes off too. She collaborates with Brian's sister, Alicia, on that children's book, and it gets published to rave reviews.
It's so satisfying to see her talent finally recognized. She goes from sneaking poetry into work emails to having her words read and enjoyed by children everywhere. It's a testament to her perseverance and belief in herself.
I love how Rodgers doesn't shy away from showing the challenges Kay faces. As a writer, it's not all sunshine and roses. She has moments of self-doubt, writer's block, and rejections, but she never gives up.
That's what makes her journey so relatable and inspiring. It reminds us that success is rarely a straight line. There will be bumps along the way, but it's our passion and determination that ultimately carry us through.
And what about the ending? Without giving away any spoilers, let's just say that both Kay and Brian find happiness and fulfillment in their new paths.
It's a heartwarming ending that leaves you feeling hopeful and inspired. It shows that taking risks and following your passions can lead to unexpected rewards, both personally and professionally.
And for anyone out there who's feeling stuck in a rut, dreaming of a different life, Once Upon a Time in a Dental Office offers a dose of optimism and encouragement. You can find the book on Amazon, and we've included a link in the show notes.
It's a reminder that sometimes the most fulfilling adventures start with a single step outside your comfort zone. And speaking of adventures, let's delve into some of the more nuanced aspects of Kay and Brian's relationship.
Okay, I'm intrigued. What specifically caught your eye?
Well, I'm fascinated by the way their connection evolves. Throughout the story, it's not love at first sight. It's a slow burn, built on shared interests, mutual respect, and a genuine desire to see each other succeed.
It's like their love story unfolds organically, much like the plot itself. It's not forced or rushed. They start as friends and colleagues, then slowly develop deeper feelings as they support each other's dreams.
Exactly, and I think that's what makes their relationship so believable and endearing. It's not based on superficial attraction or grand gestures. It's about two people who genuinely connect on an intellectual and emotional level.
It makes you wonder, doesn't it? How often do we overlook potential connections because we're too focused on outward appearances or societal expectations?
That's such a great point. It challenges us to look beyond the surface and appreciate the beauty of a connection that grows organically from shared values and mutual support.
It's like that saying, don't judge a book by its cover. Sometimes the most extraordinary stories are hidden in the most unexpected places, just like Kay and Brian's love story, blossoming amidst the humdrum of a dental office.
And that's the beauty of Sunshine Rodgers' writing. She takes this seemingly ordinary setting and infuses it with warmth, humor, and a touch of magic. She reminds us that even in the most mundane of environments, there's always room for romance, adventure, and the pursuit of dreams.
We're back for the final part of our deep dive into Once Upon a Time in a dental office. I'm still thinking about Kay and Brian's journey and how they both took such big leaps of faith to pursue their dreams.
It's rare to find a story where both characters undergo such significant transformations. They both start in one place and end up somewhere completely different, both personally and professionally.
And it's not just about their individual journeys, it's about how they inspire and support each other along the way. Like Brian never would have had the courage to buy the bookstore without Kay's encouragement.
Absolutely, and Kay might have stayed stuck in that dead-end job if Brian hadn't believed in her writing talent. They act as catalysts for each other's growth, pushing each other outside their comfort zones.
It's a beautiful example of how the right relationship can empower you to become your best self. And it makes you wonder, how often do we settle for less because we lack that support system?
That's a powerful question. It highlights the importance of surrounding yourself with people who believe in your potential and encourage you to chase your dreams. And sometimes those people appear in the most unexpected places, like a dental office.
Speaking of unexpected, I want to circle back to Kay's love for poetry. It's not just a hobby for her, it's a lifeline. It's how she expresses herself, copes with stress, and connects with something larger than herself.
It's almost like a form of therapy for her, and the fact that she draws inspiration from a female poet who had to hide her identity to get published adds another layer of depth to her passion.
It shows how deeply she yearns for creative fulfillment, for a way to make her voice heard. And in a way, that's what she achieves by becoming a writer. She finds her voice and uses it to inspire others.
It's a reminder that everyone has a story to tell, a unique perspective to share. And sometimes it takes courage to step into that role of storyteller, to embrace your vulnerability and share your heart with the world.
And sometimes it takes a little nudge from someone who believes in you, like Brian did for Kay. It's a beautiful testament to the power of human connection.
If we connect this to the bigger picture,
Yeah.
it makes you think about the impact we can have on others. A simple word of encouragement, a gesture of support, can be the catalyst for someone to unlock their full potential.
So true. And if you haven't already, I highly recommend diving into Kay and Brian's story in Once Upon a Time, a dental office. It's by Sunshine Rodgers. You can find it on Amazon. And we've included a link in the show notes.
It's a heartwarming and inspiring tale that reminds us to embrace our passions, chase our dreams, and never underestimate the power of human connection.
And on that note, we've come to the end of our deep dive. Thank you for joining us as we explored the world of Once Upon a Time in the dental office.
It's been a pleasure sharing this journey with you.
And a big thank you to all our listeners. We hope this deep dive has inspired you to pursue your own passions and find those unexpected connections that make life richer. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep diving deep at